Hello everyone, it's been a week that Dawn of the Hunt, the new season of Path of Exile 2 has been out, and there's been a lot of things happening. So in this video, I'm going to go through my campaign experience, I'm going to go through the endgame and the change that I think are very positive in the endgame, how I farm in this Path of Exile season, because I think that there is some stuff that are very, very good to farm. The character I'm using, the build that I'm using, I'm going to give you a link to the person that I'm following. It's not my build, so you will see that as well. And my thought for the future. Okay, so let's get started with the campaign. I think that the campaign at the beginning of the season was extremely hard. I play a melee class as a warrior, and before I was able to transition to my totem build, it was very, very complicated, especially Act 1. And I would see that the pinnacle of the difficulty for me was really the boss at the end of Act 1, where I really needed to farm some levels to be able to kill it. It was very difficult for me to get some cold resistances. I didn't get any sockets. I didn't get any gear that contained good health or good cold resistances, so it's been quite complicated, and all those struggle I think have been addressed in the recent patch, so I think this is going to be slightly better. And as the game is progressing, my character gets stronger and stronger, and second act was difficult but not as much as the first one. Third was pretty easy, and then the cruel difficulty, I'll just steamroll it because I had my build, and then by this time you have enough point that you can adapt your build to face the different situation that you are faced on. So I think this is very similar to what I believe with the first season. Is I feel that the highest difficulty is that at the first act of the normal difficulty, which is kind of weird. I understand the feeling that they want the people to feel stronger and stronger as they progress, but I believe that the learning curve is a little bit weird because for new player, you just face this massive wall of the first bosses, and I know a lot of people that they're not like hardcore player, they're just casual player. They go to the first boss, they get wiped 1, 2, 3 times, they just quit the game and they don't relaunch it. So maybe there is people in the comment that are going to say that maybe Path of Exile is not for them. Okay, it's true, but I don't know. I feel kind of weird that the hardest part of the game is really the first, let's say, 5 hours, and then after it becomes easier and easier and easier. I don't know, but that's just my personal opinion. Now, if we are looking at the build that I'm following the build from POE guy, which is totem build. So I put a link into the description. I was talking about it into the video that I was doing before the release as one of the builds that I was interested. A lot of the build that I was mentioning before, they have been nerfed with the release. This one was not really touched. There is a certain aspect of this build that has been buffed. And with the new gem and the new support gem, I think overall it's a very, very strong build. I played it on the season 1 and I was quite satisfied about it, but really now I think on season 2 it really shined now that so many other builds are not as strong as they were before. So if you're interested of playing this build, you can check in the link down below, and you see how is guide, that is written guide, but there is also videos and there is also comment. And I really like POE guy. He's a really funny guy on Path of Exile. So if you don't know him, you should have a watch. He's definitely a good content creator. Now moving on to the end game. So right now I'm in the end game. I'm level 88, I believe, something like this, and yes, 88, 45%. I am doing T16, and at the moment I'm farming totem and rituals, and I believe that it's really good to farm rituals in this season, because right now what you can do is that every time that you see a tower, a shrine like this, you can place up to 3 tablets, and the 3 tablets are going to be affected in all the map range. And what is very good versus before is that you can superpose multiple tablets, and especially 2 things that are very strong, which to me are the the tablet of Irradiated and the tablet of the Totem Ritual. And as you see, the number of maps that are affected are much higher than Season 1. So we're talking about 15, 16, 17 maps. So usually what I do is that I combine one of this with one of them, like the Irradiated. And what it allows me, it's that all the things in a very good range, like this one, it gets both all the monster get +1 and the totem, meaning that with a T15, a regular T15, I can enter a map that has level 80. And this is very important if you're farming a Totem Ritual, because all the best omen, they are only dropping on T16 maps, so level 80. And if you want to have a level 80, you need to corrupt your Waystone, and you don't always have a T16 out of it. But with this option, which is to use the tablet, you get it much more reliably, and you can chain the so you see I have an Omen of Riddling that is about to be sold, and if you are looking at basically all the best selling Omen, so the purple ones, basically all those purple ones, they sell for a lot. Those are the ones that are only dropping if you are on T16. Otherwise they don't drop. So you see this one 220. I didn't know, but this one is 220. If you're looking for another one, like the Audience with the King right now is quite cheap actually, so that's if you want to buy it, it's probably like the right time. If you are looking at the other omen, such as probably this one is 80. So you see there is a lot of things that are very valuable, and all those ones, they are only dropping in T16. So having the Irradiated is very important. So if you're interested to farm the ritual, I have a detailed video on how to farm ritual and what to do, not to do, that is still up to date. And you will have also a detailed guide on the boss that you saw at the beginning, which is the King in the Mist, that is unlocking the point for you of this tree, allowing you to multiply the benefit that you get from farming ritual. So as you see, I really started by ritual, and then I have a little bit of bosses that I've done, but this is something else. So ritual is really the things that I'm focusing on, because there is big money to make on rituals. And as you see, I'm very early on the end game, because I only have 12 out of 40 points. So it's very early. Regarding my character, I only have the third ascendancy. I haven't gone for the fourth one, and I'm still capable of killing King in the Mist of level 81. So yeah, all this you find it in a POE guide. What I also really like with the totem build and the rituals, it's really an activity that is made for the totem, because as the totem build is very tanky, being in a constrained area, it doesn't really matter because you don't take that much damage anyway. So I think for totem it really shine in that kind of case. I think for simulacrum is going to be very good as well, which is another thing that I want to explore. And the last point that I really like with this build is because the most money that you are making is out of the Totem Omen and the King in the Mist that you are, the Audience with the King that you are dropping from the rituals. You don't need to have rarity on your gear, so you can focus a little bit more into the other aspect of your gear, and that makes capping your resistances quite easy. So you see I capped everywhere at 44% KO resistances, and I haven't spent a lot of currencies into my gear. I think the best things that I spend is like my helmet is like 30, my gloves, they are 20 exalted. The amulet, yes, this amulet here is a little bit more expensive. I think it was around 60 exalted. All the rest is deadly cheap, is extremely cheap. So it's very, very, very easy to have these kind of things and to be capped in resistances and be capable of farming very high content without spending divine and divine on a build. Now, what I do really like with the new endgame system is that the progression through the tier of the map is way smoother and way better to my point of view. So basically now, every time that you are finding a node with a boss, if you manage to kill the boss, you will drop by default. I think it's a little bit buggy, but with the patch it has been fixed, but you will drop a waystone that is a tier higher. And if on the top of it you are killing all the rare monster into the map, you will drop a waystone that is from the tier of the map that you have been using. So let's say I'm doing this node here and I'm using like a T10. If I kill the boss, I'm gonna drop a T11, and if I'm finishing all the rare monster, I'm going to drop a T10. So that means that at the beginning, if you have a build that you are comfortable farming with, you can very quickly go to T6, T7, T8, or even higher if you feel comfortable. To me, I think that I went very, very quickly to T12, then I started farming a little bit around T12, and then I finished to push to T15. And this is very important because the less time you spend in low tier map and the more currency you're going to drop, the more experience you're going to get, and the quicker you're going to progress towards the end game. The next addition that they did, which is cleaning the corruption. So you see corruption is when you see this part here, you see here there is some corruption. And basically what you're gonna see is that there is like a mini citadel at the middle of the corruption. And if you kill it, you will have everything that is transformed into those whitish gems. So that will create like another environment. And this is the way that you get the new Atlas point. I think this is pretty cool. That is giving like a progression. You want to move forward, clean the corruption. I think it works quite well. I do think that getting those Atlas points is a bit slow, but I mean, it's just the beginning, so it's normal that I don't get all of them. Another thing that you see is that you will find some untainted paradise, and if you are cleaning them, you will also get some bonus Atlas points. Be careful when you are cleaning them because by default it's not written, but you have a lot of bonus XP. I think for me it was something like 275% of XP bonus. So wait a little bit to get to a tier that is quite high before you are running them, because I think it's sort of a waste to run it into a tier 3 or tier 4 map. I think it's much better to wait a little bit more and to run something that is at least above 10. So don't make this mistake. And last but not least, you will see that now you have multiple chances to complete a map. And I think this is a big addition as well for people that are more casual, because you will not have your map completely deleted if you die once, which allow a certain room for softcore players to keep doing their activities even if they die. You still lose 10% of XP, which I think is pretty good and pretty normal, but at least you have multiple chances to clean the map. And the higher you go in map difficulty and the more affix you got and the less chance you have. So certain map you will have some reduced chance, so it can go from 6 to 1. So there is certain map where you just have one chance to complete them, but most of them is not the case, and I think it's a bit less frustrating for people that have a build that is meh, and sometimes they die and then they have lost everything that is inside the map. So I quite like the chance that they did, and the fact that it's now part of the difficulty of the map, the number of times that you can or cannot respond within a given map. To summarize, I would say that the endgame is definitely better than Season 1. To me, there is no comparison. It's way smoother, and you feel that they've addressed a lot of the criticism that they got through the first season. I think the campaign was difficult. Maybe a little bit too difficult, but I think they are also working on it. Overall, I believe that this is a very good season. I really enjoy playing Path of Exile. I know that's not necessarily what you hear from a lot of people, but personally, I really like it. Yes, it was tough, the first act, but once you get through it and you manage to overcome this first difficulty, I think the rest of the game is really enjoyable and really worth playing. I really hope that this video has been helpful. If it was, please consider subscribe to my channel. I also hope that you are enjoying your time in Path of Exile 2, and if you haven't tried, you should try. This is definitely a good game that is worth trying. You can sink a lot of hours into it, but I think it's definitely worth it. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next video.